Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Setting a Timer for Shabbat, Part 3, The Shocking Position of Rav Moshe Feistien. So the Gemara in Shabbat, Yud Tet Chav, is all talking about doing malacha before Shabbat, continuing into Shabbat. Chav is talking about starting the cooking process before Shabbat, and it continues on Shabbat. And we were learning how do you apply this to Shabbos timers, and we basically learned that malachas that are done before Shabbat al mutar continue on to Shabbat. And unless it's specific as Zeirah, decreed Rabbanan, like by cooking, there's certain restrictions, it's fine. And that's in the Gemara, where we read the second sheet, we read in the Shulchan Aruch. You could go ahead, the Shulchan Aruch writes, and you can put a sprinkler on before Shabbat. You can put a little fire on that's going to cause spices to scent a garment. You can go ahead and put something on your eye before Shabbat. It's going to keep medicating it on Shabbat. Everything was done before Shabbat. And the fact that the kelim are doing malach on Shabbat is fine. The fact that you set malach to Moshe before Shabbat is fine. So what are the timers? And now let's take this down from the Gemara in the first year we discussed. Shulchan Aruch 500 years ago we discussed in the second year. Now Allah L'maisa. So Rav Moshe is a groundbreaking tshuva in Orach Chaim Dalid. Siman Samech, he writes, it's a problem. It's a problem. He says, Amir La'akim. Why do we have Amir La'akim? You cannot ask a Gentile to do malach for Shabbos because you can ask him to do put on a light, put off a light, do the wash for me, do that for me, clean, scrub, anything. And Shabbos is not going to be Shabbos anymore. So here, instead of asking the Akum, you're going in, you're asking the switch, the timer. And you're going to create the same thing as Amir La'akim. And then in addition, he says it's Ziluta, it's a Zilzul Shabbos. And just like you cannot go ahead, according to the Paskin, that you shouldn't set a mill into motion before Shabbat because it's going to make a loud noise on Shabbat. It's going to be a zilzul, degradation to Shabbos. So too timers are degradation to Shabbos as well. Off and on, this malacha, that malacha. So he asks it because of two things. Because it's a framework of Amir La'akim, it's similar to asking a Gentile to work, and it's a zilzul to Shabbos. And then he says, 56 years ago, he said, well, what are you going to do? Everyone's doing the light switches already. This was early days with the timers. Everyone's doing light switches. I'm not going to stop that. Already in Europe, people are asking Goyim, they were lenient to rely on certain opinions to put the fires off and on. So we're not going to be more machmir with the light switches than we were with the Goyim in Europe, asking them for whatever reason we were lenient to ask them to put lights off and on, or fires off and on. We'll allow that. It's already been done. We're not going to stop that. But nothing more. Nothing more. No other timer's use for B'Shabbat Shabbat. This is Rav Moshe Feistien. This is part number 3. We'll finish off Mitzvah Hashem with part number 4 next year, the Chazon Ish and Shlomo Zalman Auerbach and Shmir Shabbat Kechot, to see how he paskin. Shalom.